All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down the one simple, kind of unsexy piece of math that is the absolute key to financial freedom. Seriously, forget all the get-rich-quick noise. This is all about finding the mathematical exit door from the 9-to-5 grind. You know the feeling, right? It's Sunday night, you've got a good job, you're paying the bills. On paper, everything looks fine. But then, it starts to creep in, that little knot in your stomach, that feeling of dread because Monday is just around the corner. And deep down, you just feel stuck. And that's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? Every time you get a raise, somehow your expenses magically rise to meet it. A nicer apartment, a new car, more expensive dinners out. So you're working harder, you're earning more, but you're not actually getting any closer to freedom. You're just upgrading your cage. But what if there was a real, tangible finish line? Not some vague dream, but a number. An actual number that tells you exactly when you can walk away from it all. Well, let's talk about that, because it's not a mystery, it's just simple math. So here's the first piece of the puzzle. It's called the 25x requirement. It's pretty simple, actually. Years of research have shown that if you can build an investment portfolio that's worth 25 times your annual expenses, you've probably made it. You've reached financial independence. This right here, this is the answer to that huge question. How much is enough? Let's make that real, so it's not just some abstract concept. Say your comfortable life costs you about $40,000 a year, or, around 33 lakh rupees. Well, your target isn't some fuzzy idea of being rich. Your target is specific, $1 million, or 8.3 crore rupees. That's it, a defined, achievable goal you can actually work towards. And here's the beautiful mechanism that makes it all work. It's called the 4% rule. See, once you hit that 25x number, you can pretty safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio's value every single year to live on. And in the background, your investments, that compounding machine, just keep on working, which means your money will very likely outlast you. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting because there's a huge misunderstanding about all of this. We're all taught to think that the key to getting there is just earning more money, a bigger salary, a promotion, a side hustle. But that's not the variable that actually moves the needle the most, not even close. So let me just ask you a simple question. If you had two different paths to the exact same destination, but one was super short and the other was incredibly long, which one are you going to take? It's a no-brainer, right? Well, let's look at what that means with our money. And here it is. This is the whole game. This is the most important lever you have. If you follow the standard advice, save 10% of your income, you'll be working for 51 years to reach freedom. You start at 25, you're free at 76. But what if you can crank that savings rate up to 50%? Suddenly, that timeline shrinks to just 17 years. Same income, totally different choice. We're talking about the difference between retiring in your 70s or maybe even your 40s. Now, I know what you're thinking. Save 50% of my income? Are you insane? I get it. It sounds totally impossible for most people. But that's not because you're bad with money. It's because there are these powerful, invisible forces that are literally designed to keep you spending. And the biggest, most powerful of these forces, we can call it the ego tax. This is all the money you spend to look successful, instead of spending it on things that will actually make you successful. It's this silent, invisible tax you pay for trying to keep up with appearances. You want a perfect example? That brand new car payment, a $767 monthly payment, or about 64,000 rupees. It just feels like a normal part of life, but it's a financial sleight of hand. See, they want you to focus on that small monthly number so you don't think about the big picture, that you're financing an asset that's losing value every single day for the next 7 years. Real wealth is the fancy car you don't buy. And the ego tax gets you through two sneaky hidden traps. First, lifestyle inflation. That's what ensures every single raise you get is immediately swallowed up by higher expenses. And then the Diderot effect kicks in. That's when you buy one nice new thing, like a sofa, and suddenly your old coffee table looks terrible, which kicks off a whole new spiral of spending. And this is why we have to totally redefine what we're aiming for. The goal isn't the luxury car or the giant house. The ultimate luxury, the real definition of wealth, is autonomy. It's waking up on a completely random Tuesday morning and having total control over your day because you finally stopped performing for an audience that wasn't even paying attention anyway. So how do you actually start? Look, don't get overwhelmed thinking you need to save 50% tomorrow. Don't even worry about that $1 million target just yet. Let's focus on one simple, actionable thing you can do this week. Okay, Here's your mission. Step 1, go through your last bank statement and find all those little invisible leaks, the small reoccurring charges you completely forgot about. Step 2, be ruthless. Cancel any subscription you haven't actually used in the last month. And step 3, whatever savings you do have, move it into a high-yield savings account that actually pays you some decent interest. That's it. That's your first step. That's the first domino. When you boil it all down, it comes to this. Trying to look rich and actually becoming rich are pulling you in opposite directions. The entire system, advertising, social media, all of it, is built to profit from your desire to signal how well you're doing. But you only win this game when you stop playing theirs and you start quietly, patiently building your own